Hey guys, Cam315 back out with another video for you guys. Finally, finally. Oh man, it's been so damn good. Finally back, talking Chicago Bears football. It's been so long since I last talked about Chicago Bears football. Now I know it's slacking a bit in the off season, but it's all right. It's all right. Football season around the corner. Chicago Bears have kicked off their season, their 2026 campaign in the preseason. And finally, I can now finally watch a team that I hope is really good this year. I really hope is good. But the Bears kicked off their preseason this past Saturday by playing the Cleveland Browns, kind of a rematch of what we had earlier last year and everything. And just like they did in the regular season last year, the Bears blew out the Browns. So there's that. I'll get talking about the game, my thoughts, some standouts and things like that. I do want to talk about some Bears news that have been happening. So let's start off from some of the news that was made. All right. And some of the stuff that I've just frankly missed, right? Stadium news. So apparently Kevin Warren and Jordan McCaskey, it looks like the full sole focus is having the new stadium in Indiana. But we'll see. Apparently Roger Goodell talked with Illinois lawmakers. I don't know. My whole stance on the stadium deal, I don't care. Get it fucking done. Find a site, get it done. Please finish and wrap up this whole stadium news so we can find out where the new stadium's being played at. Where the new Bears game are being played at. Because I don't have time to waste on this shit. I really don't. I don't care. I don't. Just get this whole mess done. Because it's annoying. I think a quote from freaking Kevin Warren literally said his wife said, "Stop talking, get it done." Exactly what his wife should be saying and telling him to do. Get the job done. Stop doing these damn updates that amount to nothing. Get it done. It was also funny that Ben Devon apparently got fucking prank called by a fake Barstool Big Cat because he came out like a few days ago talking about, oh, the Bears are going to be called the Indiana Bears once they make the announcement to go to Indiana. One, they did not make an announcement to go to Indiana. And then two, George McCaskey at the press conference the next day basically debunked that whole report Ben Devine put out and said, no, if we were to play in Indiana, we're still going to be called the Chicago Bears. Fuck. The mayor of Hammond literally said, oh no, there will be no name change. They'll still be called the Chicago Bears. Like you see on the background. Chicago Bears. They're still going to be called that. But Ben Devine, dumbass, and I've had my squabbles with Ben Devine. His ass fell for it. And because he wanted to put out a story, he definitely got a story. He definitely got engagement. But Ben Devine is one of those dudes that tweets shit to get engagements. He ended up going on Big Cat's show the other day and talking to Big Cat saying like, "Oh yeah, like saying like, oh, yeah, the source I got was impersonating you and pretending to be you, saying that Ryan Poles talked to you and stuff like that." And it's like, one, why would Ryan Poles talk to Barstool Big Cat? It's not like Barstool Big Cat is an ESPN reporter. Like, it's not like as if Ryan Poles is talking to Courtney Cronin. Barstool Big Cat, he is the same thing as a fucking fan like I am. He's just got a big platform with Barstool. Why would Ryan Poles contact him to tell him, hey man, um, we're gonna move to Indiana and we're gonna be called the Indiana Bears? What? That's not adding up. So why Ben Devine felt that. And he did this whole thing. Oh, I confirmed this with this fake Barstool Big Cat and everything. And then he thought, hey, let me put this whole thing out. And I stood on it. And then for the owner to only debunk that the next day made him look like a complete fucking moron. Now, the funny part is, even before the owner said that shit, he put out a tweet the next day saying, hey, everybody, I'm going to delete the tweet I just mentioned about the Bears move to Indiana. I found out I was wrong. I was duped. I was scammed. So I apologize. I'll be better. And then that's a few minutes later, the owner George McCaskey came out and debunked that whole shit about the name change. It's never the Bears, whether they play in freaking Iowa, fucking Indiana, Arlington Heights, Hammond, they're still going to be called the Chicago Bears. They're still going to be called the Chicago Bears. It's just like with the fucking Jets and the Giants. They play in New Jersey. They're called the New York Jets and Giants. They're not called the New Jersey Giants and Jets. The Rams and the Chargers, who play in my backyard, they're not called the Inglewood Chargers and Rams. They're called the Los Angeles Rams and Chargers. They play legitimately like probably 10 minutes away from downtown LA. The Clippers Intuit Dome is right down the street from SoFi Stadium. Are they called the Inglewood Clippers? No, they're called the Los Angeles Clippers. The 49ers are not called the Santa Clara 49ers. They're called the San Francisco 49ers, but they play in Santa Clara. Do they call the Dallas Cowboys the Arlington Cowboys? For fuck's sake. Like, my God. It's it's absolutely stupid. The mindset of these fucking people. Absolutely stupid. There was gonna be no name change. None. And then the guy who basically scammed Ben Devine came on Barstool Big Cat show and said, oh yeah, I never talked to him. And Ben Devine said he did talk to this guy to hear a voice. So listen, moral of the story, to get off this topic so I can go talk about the other news, the actual news. I would highly request people block Ben Devine. Don't listen to him. He's not a guy that knows anything about the Bears. He is just a fan. Just a fan. So, good job, Ben Devine. Good job, Ben Devine. Now, you are not even credible enough. Not like you were already credible, but now guess what? You're an absolute joke. All right, let's talk about real Bears news. All right. Bears signed defensive lineman Marcus Davenport. He used to be with Dennis Allen back in my goodness. Back in New Orleans. Look. What are my thoughts? I'm not even going to read off the fucking stats. What are my thoughts about the Bears getting Marcus Davenport? The only problem is he's been injury prone, so hopefully he can stay healthy for the year. But this is just a depth signing, and I don't really care, man. I don't really care. Whatever it takes. The Bears need all the defensive line help they can get. So I'll take Marcus Davenport. And if he ends up somehow finding a way to make an impact, fuck. I'll take it. Anything to improve this defensive line play and just make sure that we're fine we can get some pressure and we can get the quarterback on the ground. So I'll take Marcus Davenport. It may not be everybody's cup of tea. I know there's some Bear fans that are not happy about the signing, but fuck it, man. You really just want to go out there and just do anything? Just watch the same line? Frick. At least they're addressing the defensive line any way they can. Because trust and believe, I don't want to watch motivated Dio again. So Marcus Davenport, it's a death move. Hopefully it hopefully it produces. Hopefully he's able to get pressures. Hopefully he's able to get sacks. That's the only thing we can hope for. The next big news. Kamanan guy. He got hurt yesterday. And I guess it came out today he hyperextended his knee. So now he's probably gone for a few weeks past week 1. You want to know how this whole hyperextended knee was suffered? Grady Jarrett tackled him in practice yesterday, and they weren't in pads. Are we fucking serious? You're a veteran. Why are you making a tackle on your running back, your backup running back, mind you, and you got no pads on? And you tackled him and you hyperextended his fucking knee. See, with how lucky the Bears were with injuries, that luck has not carried over to this year. 100% that has not carried over to this year. I'm not going to create excuses like some other fucking cheesehead fans are. Oh, if we only had Micah, we would have beat you guys. Why Grady Jarrett is making tackles and no pads on a running back, on one of your key players. What the hell? I hope he was fined by the team. He knows better. Now, Kamanan guy might be fucking hurt longer than expected. He's just coming off an injury that he just had. Now he got injured again because your defensive lineman was being dumb and not wanting to not tackle players in practice. So that's great. That's fantastic. But hey, at least what is it? Hold on. I'll pull up his name. I'll pull up his name. Let me see if I can find the name. At least Salvin Ahmad. He looked good in his showing last week or this last preseason game. He honestly, in my opinion, looked better than Roshan. So there's that. So who knows? There's an opportunity for a running back to make the roster due to injury to Kyle Monangai. There's that. Now that fucking sucks. The Kyle Monangai was the type of running back you like to have. Now he's gonna be gone for a few weeks. Because your leadership veteran in the defensive line just had to tackle him in practice. And I think out of all the injury news that hit the hardest was Kobe Bryant. Now, Kobe Bryant, he got hurt in practice doing one-on-ones, and the report was initially 4 to 6 weeks. And you're like, okay, good. Maybe he'll miss a week here or two. And then somebody in the press conference asked Ben Johnson about his time frame of returning, and Ben Johnson's like, I don't know where you got that information from. And I believe the next day or 2 days later, they announced Kobe Bryant basically needed to get surgery on his knee, and he's done for 4 to 6 months. So we went from a 4 to 6 timeline to 4 to 6 months. Well, that was that was uh that was fantastic. So Kobe Bryant is basically done for the entire season and may return if the Bears make the playoffs this year. So now we're down two DBs in the starting secondary, and you had your GM come out and say it's fine. We don't need to get the D line pressure. We're fine with what the guys we have now because we can cover a little bit longer because we got the guys back there. Well, Kobe Bryant's gone. He's gone for the year. And Kyler Gordon is, well, MIA. I already think Kyler Gordon's going to be cut next year because he can't stay healthy. So you got two guys in your starting secondary done. But we don't want to improve the defensive line to get a little bit more pressure on that quarterback to make the backup DBs not have to cover as much. It also questions, why did you not resign Kevin Byard? But then again, you made the argument maybe you just wanted to go to New England. Now Dylan Thieneman, he has to play basically and learn his way. He won't have a quality veteran right next to him, a really damn good veteran safety in Kobe Bryant. Now, we'll see. Maybe he pulls off what we saw with Ozzy Trapillo, and somehow he gets back a lot sooner than we thought. But this was a blow. This was a blow defensively because he's a guy that's a leader, and that's a guy that we could use. But we won't use because he's hurt. So the time we finally see Kobe Bryant playing in a Bears game, it'll be next year. Unless the Bears make the playoffs. I'm confident the Bears can make the playoffs. But we'll see. We'll see. In the last news, Ozzy Trapillo, he is off. He has returned to practice. I was shocked. Remember, he tore his patella tendon or whatever, and now he's coming back. Now, what does this mean for the offensive line? I would not rush him back. I would not rush him back. Don't force him out there and don't let him be out there in games where he hampers himself. I don't want him playing if he's not 100% ready to go. I think they wanted to activate him because they felt like he's ready, but they're not going to give him, too much to do. We'll see if he's able to go at some point this season, but I would not rush him. Take your time because I don't want this guy's career being stalled because he came back too soon from his injury. And maybe he just worked his ass off to get back and heal up because he didn't want to lose his starting spot. I don't blame him. But I do hope the Bears are being cautious of him and they take it slow with him. I don't want Ozzy Trapillo, what looks to be your future left tackle. I don't want him rushing back and he plays worse than anticipated because he did come back early. So I hope they take their time back with him one day at a time. And we'll see if he's able to go at any point this season. All right, let's talk about the football game. I'm not going to go really much in depth with the game. Like, fuck, it's a preseason game. What is there to go in depth on like a regular season matchup? Nothing. There is nothing to go out off a regular season matchup. Like a preseason game. Preseason game is here to evaluate the players and evaluate guys that stood out in your opinion and think and played in a way where they feel like you can earn a roster spot. So let me go. I'm going to go through some of the list of players that I see at the stat lines and give my thoughts on. Tyson Bagent, I thought he was all right. He didn't really play too well, if you ask me. Yeah, 13 completions for 22 yards, or 22 yards, 22 attempts, 169 what is it? Not 169 yards passing, one TD. He did throw a really bad interception, like a really bad interception, pretty bad. I don't know what he was looking there. That was bad. And honestly, he looked rough to start the game off. I was questioning where was he going with the ball. Again, if Caleb Williams ever goes down due to injury at some point, I'm fine with playing Tyson Bagent for a game or two. If we're talking about having Tyson Bagent play 3 or more games, then we're fucked. So Caleb Williams, please stay healthy. Because we're in a whole heap of trouble if Tyson Bagent's back there. Case Keenum came in after that. He looked solid. 151 yards passing, 2 TDs. Miller Moss, Caleb Williams' former teammate, left a lot to be desired. Only was 3 of 8 from the field, 48 yards passing. Not necessarily the best. Hopefully in game 2, when he gets the opportunity, he plays better. So there's that. Roschon Johnson, 8 carries for 34 yards, Didn't do much for me. I honestly thought he wasn't that good. Honestly. I think Roschon Johnson honestly should be cut. I don't know. He runs a little too slow for me. I understand he's a solid special teamers, but honestly, I feel like you can get more than Roschon Johnson. You can get more. So I think Roschon Johnson is probably going to get cut. I don't know if he makes the roster. He's definitely fighting for that number 3 running back spot. And that's probably with Salva Ahmed. Ahmed just stuck out to me a little bit more in this game. He stuck out to me a little bit more. And mostly it's probably due to the catch he made off that, dump off for the touchdown. That was good. And I think with Kyle Monangai out, I think this guy, he could be a really good player to have on your team to basically fill in so Colin Monangai has enough time to come back and nurse that injury. So there's that. Coleman Bennett, he played, scored 1 touchdown, 4 carries for 10 yards. Brendan Brown, 5 carries for 8 yards. The only thing I don't like about the running discrepancy is they gave Roschon Johnson a bulk of the carries, and he gave you nothing. He gave you nothing. Yes, he had the longest run out of all the running backs, 19-yard run. But again, he looks a little slow for me. It's just not janky. It's just not janky. Wide receivers. When you look at the wide receivers that kind of stuck out the most, it was probably Caden Davis. Caden Davis was probably the one receiver that stuck out the most. He definitely stuck out the most. He definitely has a chance to make the roster with the way he played. Like, he played good. He made all the catches he could make. He dropped a few, which I didn't like. I didn't like how some of the receivers starting the game off dropped passes. But Caden Davis, once he locked in, he was catching everything. He caught like a behind the back pass. He was making all these plays. 4 receptions for 88 yards. He could be a very good target if he makes this team. Probably get more special teams rep, but hey, injury goes down to a wide receiver. You can slot him in there and play him. And you know what? He could be like Ja'Day Walker for you. Ja'Day Walker right there. So there's that. Sam Roush did get some playtime. I thought he looked solid. Scotty Miller got some playtime. I thought he made some catch. Honestly, I would not be mad if Caden Davis and Scotty Miller make the team. Now, Scotty Miller would probably be more of a receiver than a special teams guy. Caden Davis, you could probably have him do special teams. So I think Caden Davis would get the edge over that. So there's that. Defense, we did force 3 turnovers. Jomri Chroma, number 59. I thought he was really good. I thought he played a really good game. He was getting pressure. He got a strip sack on Deshaun Watson. He looked really good out there. Now I don't know if he's gonna make the team, but hey, a solid guy that hey, if he does, that's a solid rotation guy you can have on the end. So there's that. Jack Sanborn, he came back. I thought he looked good. DeMarco Jackson looked good. He was one tackle. He stuffed it. Um, what is it? I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look. Devin Bush, he made a really good play where he shot the gap. It was like a third and short. The one thing I saw from the defense is it looks like the run defense is going to be pretty good. Pass defense, we'll see because we barely got any pressure. We didn't really get any pressure until really, well, like I made a mention later in the game, once the backups got in our Deshaun Watson basically held on to the ball too long. But there was one of the first few defensive drives. I think it was the first drive. It was third and short, and it was a run play. And Devin Bush ran into the hole, filled it in, made the tackle, stopped him. If our linebackers are on that type of stuff where they just they see the play, read it, shoot the gap, and make a tackle, perfect. When they're not guessing out there. And really, that's what we've been seeing from DeMarco Jackson and so far Devin Bush. Great sign to see. Great sign to see that they just shoot the gap on a run, boom, shoot the gap, go make a tackle. That's what you do like to see. That's what you do like to see. Devin Gallimore played. I thought he was good too. He got some pressures. Got some pressures. Saw what is it? I saw Jordan Van Vandenberg. I saw some pressures on him. So there's that. Jaden Loving, he got a few pressures. There's that. Uh, Dio shockingly enough played, but I've seen the clips, man. Dio does not look good. Dio in a live game setting did not look good. Now you see why they signed Marcus Davenport and we hope and pray that he's good. Like I said, when I see Grady Jarrett and Dio Dengbo as post June 1st cuts, thank you, Christ. Thank you, Christ. I will say, a few players in the defensive backfield that impressed me was Beanie Bishop Jr. He ended up getting 2 picks. So that's good for him. Now, I think if he makes the team, he will be suspended the first 3 games. I think one of the last games he played with the Steelers, but Beanie was good. 2 interceptions, albeit the 2 interceptions were really bad interceptions. Dylan Gabriel and fucking Shador Sanders overthrew those dudes like crazy. But Beanie Bishop looked really good out there. Really good. Malik Muhammad, there were some growing pains out there, but there were moments where Malik Muhammad did look good. Remember, he's learning a whole new position in the slot corner because Kyler Gordon can't get healthy. But I want us to keep Beanie Bishop. And then obviously Xavier Woods. Um, he played in this game, but he left the game early due to injury because of a groin injury, which he looked like he was going to be slotting in to be the safety to start alongside Dylan Thieneman. And now that he's fucking hurt, my goodness, man. Oh boy. We DB's just dropping like flies. DB's just dropping like flies, man. I don't know why, man. DB's dropping like flies. The only guy that didn't really impress me in the secondary was probably Josh Blackwell. Listen, if at any point Joshua Blackwell has to if he has to get actual like reps as a cornerback, we're in trouble. Josh Blackwell was getting picked apart, man. Whether it was Trey Boston or I think Judy. but he was getting eaten alive. So we can hope, we better damn hope that I don't have to see Josh Blackwell get meaningful reps. He's a great special teamer. Josh Blackwell is a great special teamers. Defensive player wise, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think that I think that will immediately be a liability. Now, like if he gives you a rep here and there at secondary, fine. But if he's playing a whole game, we got ourselves a problem. But anyways, the Bears look good. They blew out like what Ben Johnson likes to do. He wants to blow out people. So yeah. We do play the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. I do hope the starters do play. Now, apparently, I think they're gonna have a joint practice with the Bengals, but I do hope that the starters do play regardless. I would like the starters to play. Get one rep in there, get one series in there, like what happened last year. Last year, I think we had a series or two, and they went out on the field, scored a touchdown. I'd be perfectly fine with that. So I would hope that the Bears get some work in, and we do that and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm gonna go out of here, guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on the Bears' first preseason game and the news that I just talked about with the Bears and things like that. And yeah, but anyways, I will catch you guys on the next video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. I'll be back for week 2 or preseason week 2 and giving my recap on that aspect. Again, thinking about how I thought about how the team played and how certain players that we're watching for to make the roster play as well. But anyways, till then, guys, catch you guys later. I will see you guys in the next Chicago Bears video. Till then, guys, peace.